Hey there, I'm Adam Hughes, and welcome to a little bit of fabric and clothing for convention sketches, playing around with markers and that sort of stuff. Been working on a little piece here, doing some flesh tones, doing some hair, getting to the part now where we're going to do some clothing. More often than not, when I'm doing an illustration with my Copic markers, I'm doing pretty unusual fabric textures. Leather, latex, PVC. Many times the characters will have chrome or gold. They'll have armor or something on their costume. And the markers that I like to use, these Copics over here, the warm gray and the cool gray sets, are really great for doing those. So I thought we'd attack some of those right now. Let's do some black latex. A lot of characters wear like black. The great thing about doing those super duper dark like black leather, black latex is you can describe it with very few values. Usually I can do it in 3, 4 if you're feeling like, hey, it's a party, but 3 tops. 2, you can get away with 2. But all right, let's go in here and let's give her a little bit of a leathery, latexy black costume. One of the things that I've noticed about doing these sort of shiny costumes for superheroes is it's all about the specular highlights. And when you're working on a character that's got a costume that has a very highly reflective quality, like latex or a metallic, one of the things that I've discovered that really helps describe it is if you go to absolute white with your highlights. But one of the things I've discovered by doing a lot of characters that wear these sort of highly reflective costumes is that light is light and it pretty much reflects off of everything the same way, and it's just depending on how smooth and polished the surface is how easily we can see what environment that object is in, and also what light sources are illuminating it. And whether it's flesh tones or shiny leathery latex covered costumes, you can pretty much see the highlights. You can see the reflection of the light sources that are actually illuminating your object, and that's one of the things to keep in mind. It also helps tell you where to put your highlights. You don't have to sit there and go, oh, hey, wait a minute, Adam, how do I do this? You go, well, there's a light here, and then there's a sky. That you sit there and go, okay, everything will have that reflected in it. And that really helps you sort of make your decisions. You're going, okay, well, I already know what the environment is around this character. One of the things I've discovered that really, really helps sell this is if you make sure that the value range on your metallic costume or your latex costume, make sure that the value range is the greatest on the costume as opposed to, say, the flesh tones or the hair. If everything has the exact same value range, meaning you go from black through all the grays to white, or whatever your range is, if they're all the same, your character's going to look like they were dipped in Crisco or something. They're all going to be equally shiny. There will be no difference in textures. I've discovered if you keep the flesh tones within a certain range, and if that range is, say, from here to here on a grayscale, and then you use this range for your metallics or your shiny costume bits, it helps sell it a little bit better. All right, so what did I say? 3 values? All right, so that was our medium value. We're going to go to our special black again. Copic has a range of values for their grayscale markers, and beyond the darkest value that they make, they have this thing called special black, which is nice and black. Now what I'm doing on this character is giving her just sort of a shiny latex covered bodice or corset, whatever you want to call it. And I know that I've got very bright light source coming this way, but I'm also on the underneath of the bottom of the forms, I'm actually having a little bit of a reflection of the floor or whatever the areas around it. Helps sell your values if you think about stuff like that, if you think about your light sources. So that was my special black. And maybe go in a little bit and just tighten up some of these highlights. Now, one of the things you can also do, instead of leaving the white of the paper to be your absolute highlights, is you can actually fill those in. You can actually fill those in with a gray value, and then go in when you're done with white paint. I enjoy doing that a lot because you think the paper you're working on is white until you actually put something like titanium white on top of it, which is super, super white. And all of a sudden your paper takes on this cream colored quality, and you realize that is not actually white. That's not true white. So a lot of times you can get that value range that I was talking about by using some white paint at the end. But all right, it's got sort of a shiny black bodice. I think I'll give her some chrome armbands. Now, basically the same theories are involved here. The highly reflective material, you're seeing a mirror image of the room or the world that this character is involved in. It's just a mirror image that has been either wrapped around a torso or is a cylinder wrapped around her wrist. So let's see here. Always to remember to leave a really bright highlight. It's always great if there's something really dark in the room to reflect. If you're ever watching, like, say, a car commercial on television, you'll notice that pay attention to the reflection in the cars. They're not lots of little bright lights like you would see in a film studio. They're these huge, large, white slabs of light, and photographers, I think, call those like fill cards or something like that. And they provide for anything with a reflection something to reflect. The more you have in your reflection, the more it's described as a reflection, meaning the higher the contrast. If you have light sources and you have dark shadows, and those are reflected in your wristbands or your costume, it just looks really, really nice, and it helps you sell what you're going for. All right, and then just a little black colored pencil again to a little pretend inking. Beef up your blacks a little bit. A little white colored pencil. You can get away with describing a few shiny metallic textures on your character's costumes and clothes. So that's some of the basic principles I use to get a convention sketch done, using my Copic markers, some colored pencils, and having a lot of fun at it. I'm Adam Hughes. Thank you for joining me. Please check out my book, Cover Run, available at all bookstores and on the internet. And check out the DVD when you get a chance.